What's happening, Nation? Hey, Zach is here for another Stump the Creator. If you don't know this game, it's where you try to stump me as a creator of Historical Conquest. Now, this is all questions about the game. This is not about history, because I'm not the best at history. I have historians for that. I do love history, and I am learning, but I'm with you. I'm not the best person when it comes to history, but if it has to do with a game, that's what I'm an expert on, because this is what I've designed, and I'd like to help you out with this. So, but if you do get to stump me, you get a big prize. If you give me what's called if you give me a good question, we give you what we call an honorable mention, which basically means we get a prize, but just smaller prize. So we've had like 3 stumps, maybe 2 stumps, and we've had like a dozen honorable mentions now. So just great questions but they didn't stump me. Still good, great questions. So we have questions every week, or twice a week, if we have enough questions. Right now we have a plethora of questions. That means a lot of questions. So we have 2 times this week that we're going to be promoting Stump the Creator. So this first one is called, "Is Daniel Boone overpowered?" Good question. I'd like to know. So these questions I do not ask, or I do not read about beforehand. So I don't know what you're gonna try to stump me at. I don't get a preview of it. My staff does not let me. They do find the images that are coordinated with this, but with trying to stump me, I can't get a preview, or I would be able to think it over time. This is very much on the cuff. So plus reading it might be a little bit shaky, not the best reader, and also this is the first time I've read this. So, and sometimes we have some writers that they're just so excited they write down exactly what they think, and they don't go back and edit. So please remember to edit your questions, because as I'm reading, it might show in the reading. So here we go. Is Daniel Boone overpowered? Hey, so I recently obtained the Daniel Boone rare card at my school. I was very impressed with its ability, which states, "Decrease the strength of all of your opponents." Typo on the card, I added apostrophe. All of your opponents. Let's see. Oh, yep, you're right. There should be an opponent after apostrophe after the or before the S. There's one opponent. Leaders, conquerors, or armies in any land Boone attacks by half, or gain 300 morale. Okay, I've had this one before. Sorry, I did not reread this. So you might be hearing this again, but let's see if we have another take on this. First, does that mean that you can decrease the strength of their leaders, conquerors, and armies, or did you just pick which, or do you just pick which category? Well, question number 1, you pick which category. It says that you decrease your opponent's leaders, conquerors, or armies, not and, or. So you get one category. So if you're going against a big country that you really want to get, you might pick the conqueror, or you may pick the leader instead of the army, because it doesn't have an army, but it's plenty of conquerors and leaders. So you might choose that. But you might also choose an army. Cutting an army in half is devastating to a lot of people in the alliance. It does not mean they're going to lose, but it is devastating. Second question. If you double Boone, since you can double its usage or frequency, since it's a constant, and you can attack one land at a time, does it mean that its ability is doubled? What would mean that the opponent's card's strength would be reduced to 0? What that is very overpowered. Now, we've had this question before also. It is not, when you double Daniel Boone, it is not double that. It does not go from half the strength to 0 strength. No, if you double the ability, it's half of what it was. So if it's half of 1,000, then it goes down to 500. If you double that, it goes from 500 to 250, and then so on and so forth. So yes, Daniel Boone is very powerful, and you can double this card. You can even quad this card. But again, it's only for one category. That's why it's not all categories. That would be completely overpowered. But if you take it for one category, Like an army, you can only have one army in there. You have other people in there as well, and other cars' abilities. So it will not devastate that car. Plus, you still have to be in the land where Daniel Boone is attacking. So if you have one continent to another continent, it does not equate. So you can't use Daniel Boone in Australia, South Pacific, and then use him in Africa. You have to move him to Africa in order to attack an African land. Or if you do use an explorer, you can do that, but it's just Daniel Boone that you're attacking with. So bear that in mind. So not overpowered, but very powerful. Hope that helps. What do you think? Is that overpowered? You tell me. Thank you so much for joining me on this Stump the Creator, and we will catch you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
If you have any comments or questions, add them to the comments below. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow, actually. Take care. Bye.